Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Raven's Nest with a whole panel of ladies, lady searchers here. And of course, Mike Calazar is here. Mike Cowlings is here as well. Kpro Lazars, I guess I should say. And he is here to help with technical support. But tonight is all about the ladies. And I do have to say, I adore how Mike says it. So, Mike, you have to say ladies' night because I like that.
All right, tonight's all about the ladies. And if anybody has a question in the chat, precede it with at Kpro, and then I'll ask them at the appropriate time. At Kpro, thanks.
Yes, and special thanks to Jimmy Fast, who is in the room and moderating and keeping you guys all in line. I'm sure there's going to be some fun questions that'll come out tonight. So I will say tonight is about ladies' perspectives. I got some statistics from Toby Eunice from A Gypsy's Kiss, and you can see that Shelly's here. But about 20% of searchers are women. So we have some women here that's boots on the ground alone, have search partners and boots on the ground alone. Some boots on the ground with others. Some switch it up all the time. So we're going to have some good discussion on boots on the ground, search partners, unique strategies. When you switch search partners, what are you looking for? Those sorts of things. But I will say the community is rather strong and everyone knows some of the YouTubers out there. And this last week or two, there has been a lot of rumors and innuendo and things about Fen treasure hunters, Sasha and Jason. And so there's, like Sean said, we're only getting it secondhand. So Sasha has asked me to read a statement for her. And I think it is tonight, since it is ladies' night especially, that just kind of puts some things into perspective. And so I want to read the statement and then we will jump into the rest of tonight, which is all about ladies' perspectives, and we'll get into the content portion. But I did think such an important couple in the chase that I did want to get out of third-hand information, and Sasha actually reached out to me, and that's a part of the statement. So I will stop and I will read the statement as she has asked me to. So this is from Sasha. To my Chase family, I have always felt lucky to be a part of this community of wonderfully diverse, brilliant, and creative people. Over the last 5 years, I have met hundreds of you in person and interacted with many more. For those I have not met, I hope to have the pleasure of doing so one day. I am deeply grateful to be able to call some of you my friends. I want to start by thanking Christy for delivering this message to all of you on my behalf. I'm unable to deliver it myself, and I knew that she would deliver this message in a respectful and loving way, which is how it is intended. I know all of you have heard that Jason Dent and I are no longer together. This is true. The circumstances surrounding our breakup is between he and I. You have all been very respectful in that manner, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You were all there to witness the two of us fall in love, and I know you were all invested in our happiness together. I know that many of you are feeling the same sadness as we both are. Several of you have reached out to express your sadness in chat rooms and Facebooks. Your expression of sympathy, empathy, and compassion are served as a reminder of how lucky I am to know you. At this time, I regret to inform you that I will not be doing any more YouTube shows on any channel. It has been such a privilege to interact with each and every host, and I'm so honored to have been such an active participant in this community. Unfortunately, it serves as too painful of a reminder of happier times. Those of you who know me well know that I believe this community is for everyone. There is a place for every person here, and I believe every person brings a value to the table. Jason Dent has been a part of this YouTube community for much longer than I have. He enjoys making videos and interacting with all of you. He works hard to develop new content and keeps his show interesting with a touch of subtle humor. I hope that all of you will continue to support him and follow him in his journey. He is an active contributor and provides a welcoming place for all searchers. I will ask that you show him the same love and support as you have shown me. Please don't feel a need to take sides. I believe there's enough love for all of you between the both of us, and I hope you are showing him the equal amounts of what you have shown me. I hope you can all understand my decision is no reflection on the community. You are amazing, unique people. You are my family. The world would be a lesser place without knowing all of you. Good luck, and hope you all find the treasure one day. So I was there when they met. I have been friends with both of them. I've had interaction with both of them many days this last couple of weeks. So I wanted to thank Sasha for the comment. I'm hoping Jason, I invited him into the room tonight just to say, okay, there we have it. And I know Jason is moving, so he's a couple weeks out from getting back on YouTube, but we thank both of you for being a part of the community, and we're there for you. So with that, I would like to go around the room because you might see some faces you know, but there might be some new faces in the room. So around the room we go, and I will say, let's see, it's different usually on here. Let's go to Shannon Oots first.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon Oates with the Odious Soul. And as some of you guys who actually watch my channel know, I'm not supposed to be doing live videos. So I'm only doing this because I love Kpro so much. And I will have to like ditch out like halfway through this. So it's kind of like a secret. Don't tell anybody. Shh, I'm not actually here. This is all a figment of your imagination.
She's here. She's here. But yes. Okay. And where do you search? And have you been boots on the ground?
Yes, I've been boots on the ground. We had 1 week up in the Yellowstone, Madison River Valley area. If you don't know where I search, you definitely need to go check out the Odious Soul YouTube, because I literally show pictures of my search area everywhere we went. I laid it all out for you. And it was one time, but we had 5 solid boots on the ground days, and we searched like all day. I was exhausted, and I can't wait to get back out there. I have so many places like I wish I would have just searched there harder kind of things, or ooh, that makes even more sense. So I'm dying to get back out there. But I'm definitely Team Montana.
Ooh, nice. You're in the north. I won't take offense. You know, Cynthia's here. Lady V, over to you.
Hi.
We'll
So I'm Lady V. My real name's Veronica. I've been in the hunt for about 1.5 years, since last February of 2017, and I've been boots on the ground 3 times, mostly with my husband, although a couple of times I went out alone, shaking with bear spray. We've searched in Yellowstone, north of Yellowstone, in the Petrified Forest, and then to the west, and then to the east, and then to the northeast. So that's been our compass so far.
Nice. Okay, Cynthia, over to you.
I'm Cynthia Meacham. I've been searching almost 6 years. I go everywhere except Colorado, where it's not. Christy.
We haven't talked in a few days. I might have some updates for you, but okay, thank you. And did you get that directly from Forrest or just your opinion?
That's my opinion.
Okay, over to Shelley Carney.
Well, good evening, and thank you for having me. My name is Shelley Carney. You may know me from A Gypsy's Kiss, and I also have my own YouTube channel, The Softer Side, where we are searching. We only have searched in New Mexico and Colorado and Wyoming, but we really like New Mexico. Right now we're searching at the border of Colorado and New Mexico at Rio de los Pinos.
Nice. Okay, and then Mike is here, but we're just talking with the ladies. Okay, so so what really I wanted to focus on tonight, and I will say we need to hit 150 for the bet to happen, which is a free coin giveaway. You have to comment. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near it. So Mike and I, of course, Vegas style, always have a side bet. We'll see how that goes tonight, Mike. So the first question I have, and I definitely want to get Shannon in here, when you boots on the ground, do you boots on the ground by yourself? And then secondly, what are your search strategies if you do have a search partner, and male or female, but what are your search strategies? And especially when we focus around safety, like I've boots on the ground alone and I boots on the ground with a male family member. And those are very different strategies when I boots on the ground. So I'd love to hear from Shannon first on how do your strategies differ, or just what are your strategies as a woman searcher?
Well, I started going into this treasure hunt with my now fiance. At the time, he was my boyfriend. And honestly, like 2 months before we actually left on our trip, he was like, we got into a fight and he wasn't going to go with me. And I was like, oh, I can definitely do this by myself. I don't need you. It's fine. And of course, he came with us. He came with me. So while on the search, though, like I guess I didn't realize just exactly how big the Rocky Mountains are, and how much dead bones you come across while you're out there. So I will admit, going searching alone, like in my search area, I might be a little leery to do it. Going forward, like going by myself, I don't think certain search areas necessarily would be safe to go alone. And if you do, you definitely got to be packing something to help protect you. Each one of us had a big fat K-bar on our bags, very easy to get to. We didn't have any bear spray, but we had walking sticks, we had metal detectors, we had all kinds of things in our hands that we could at least try to hit something with if it approached us. So that was one of the things there. As for searching strategies, I felt with two people, we were able to divide and conquer a little bit faster. We had walkie-talkies just in case we walked a little too far from each other. And we always made sure we were in the same valley canyon areas, so that way we weren't cut off by radio signals. But just trying to keep an eye on each other. If we lost visual contact, definitely talking, with the walkie-talkie. And then, those were the biggest thing, just trying to remain in contact with each other, because we can definitely search far more space with, two people. Being by myself, there's no way we would have covered as much area if I was alone and by myself. That was for sure.
Okay. And now, did you all talk about if you found the treasure, was one of you going to pack it out? Were you guys going to divide it up? Did you even get that far?
If we found the treasure, I actually packed supersized Ziploc baggies,
Nice.
Industrial strength. So we were going to empty the chest into the baggies. One was going to take the chest, one was going to take the contents. So that way we would only be carrying out 21 pounds a piece,
Okay.
Whatever. Because where we were, we definitely had to, there were some steep inclines getting out. So, at least that was the safest way that we could find, without crossing a river. So it was a matter of what's safer for us, as opposed to at first when we were discussing, he didn't want to take it out. He wanted it all in one, and he was going to be a man and he was going to do it. And I'm like, all right, think about it. We're going to be picking up a 40-pound chest that's been out in the wilderness for so long. The chances of you just spilling it are very great. So the smarter thing to do is just protect the goods, protect all the gold, all the jewels. Let's put it safely into bags. We can just put it in there, and we take it back to the hotel, spread it out on the bed, and then we can actually organize and sort it, before we take it, to a bank and put it in the safety deposit box. So
Okay.
maybe roll around in it,
Oh, we all have those fantasies.
Yeah,
That's for the softer side.
And then that's one of the good things about your search partner being somebody you're intimate with. You can take it a step farther. So.
Okay. Well, that was fantastic. Lady V, over to you.
What about? I got
So-
distracted by my cat. He loves. He loves.
So boots on the. So when you search, I think you search by yourself. So
Yeah.
what are your boots on the ground strategies? And maybe it's a little different for a man searching alone than a woman
Yeah.
searching alone. What does that look like to you? Are you packing out all at once? Are you gonna take all the contents out and go 2 trips? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, usually, I've searched a lot with my husband, so when he's around, it is extremely different than when I'm alone. And when I'm alone, I don't go as far out, of course, because I get really nervous. We also tend to attract bears. I don't know why, but we've seen bears on every hike. We've taken grizzlies on every hike. So my primary thing in my mind is bears make me really nervous, but I do really think that the chest is either in Wyoming or Montana, and there are grizzly bears there. So bear spray is very important. I just really believe that if I ran into a bear on my own, I think that I would freeze, and I don't even really think that I could get to the bear spray. It's just really scary for me, but I'm still willing to go out there.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Great.
And
Well,
I've only had a couple of weird encounters when I was on my own, but for sure, there was one time when I was hiking by myself, and there was he was a little bit of a sketchy looking guy, and he was sort of following me, and he was back a little bit, and every time I turned around, he looked really suspicious. And that's really different than my husband, who goes out hiking every day and of course never thinks about anything like that. So it makes it a little trickier, I think, for women for sure.
Yeah, the first time I went out boots on the ground, I went with my brother, and he gave me the bear spray, and I said, "Why are you giving it to me?" And he said, "Because I can run faster than you. I'm the only one that needs it." And I went, "Oh, fabulous!" So now I can run faster than him. But at the time, I thought actually that was a great answer. It was a legit answer. So yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
Cynthia, over to you.
What is the question?
Okay, so boots on the ground. As a women searcher, do you only boots on the ground alone? Do you see a difference between male and female searchers preparing for boots on the ground? If you picked a search partner, what would that process look like for you? Would it be male or female, or what do you think there, Cynthia?
So far, I've mostly only searched alone. I don't actually want a partner to search with. One reason being that I have a tendency to go where I might not be allowed to go, especially in Yellowstone Park. And I don't want someone telling me, oh, you shouldn't go there, because if I'm treasure hunting, I'm going to go wherever I think I need to go. Regarding the safety of it, I've never ever felt afraid because of another person. But I will say that my last trip to Cody, there were grizzly bears in the area, and when I actually saw them along the road the following day, that was near my previous day's search area, and I saw the mom stand up on her hind legs with her 2 yearlings. One of the yearlings was right at the edge of the road. There was only a car between that bear and me, and it was great. There were no rangers, so we, as stupid tourists, could get somewhat close, and that gave me a whole new fear and respect of the grizzlies. But I do carry bear spray, and I also carried my Glock, so that when I was going, I thought I might hike back to what I thought would be a warm spring. But when I saw the trail was so primitive and it went through a lot of the berry bushes, and it's like, nah, I'm going to be smarter than that. So I never went there. But I definitely have a newfound fear and respect of the wildlife.
Huh. Okay, great. And Shelly, so same question of boots on the ground. How does and you have a dynamic with a search partner. How do you guys strategize, that sort of thing? But boots on the ground, safety, kind of all those same questions.
Well, for the most part, Toby and Kevin do a lot of the planning. And I come along for the ride. So that's nice for me. I don't have to make those kinds of decisions. But once we're out there, we each have our own little jobs that we're taking care of. And we watch out for each other. And Kevin is usually in the lead, because where we're at right now, there's usually grass snakes, and they're not poisonous or anything. They still freak me out. So it's just like, sometimes I sing as we're walking along, so the snakes will hear me and leave the area. But if somebody has an idea, like, let's look over there, we'll talk it over. And either one of us will go, usually Kevin, if it's a little bit more of a difficult, leaping over rocks to get across water, or climbing up a steep incline or something like that. Kevin will usually be the one to go. If there's something I specifically want to look at, then it's usually all three of us, or Kevin and I will go together. And we just watch out for each other really well. We have a couple of walkie-talkies, so if Kevin does take off in one direction by himself, and Toby and I will stay together and use the walkie-talkie to make sure he's okay. And we each carry a backpack. The guys' backpacks are bigger than mine, but we all have our own, snacks and water and flashlight and things that we need. Toby's usually the one carrying the bear spray, although we have yet to see a bear when we're out looking for treasure. Even in Wyoming, there was so many hikers and people in the areas where we were looking anyway. So there wasn't a whole lot of wildlife. The wildlife we've seen in our current area is mostly cows, a few marmots, and some, I guess, deer and elk and fish, and just, nothing too dangerous.
Okay. Well, so for me, my first 2 boots on the ground was with my brother, who big, strong mountain man kind of guy. And so, but we said we were going to split it. If I was going to take the chest, he was going to take the content. Same thing that I think Shannon said. We had big Ziploc bags. We were ready for it there. I had boots on the ground alone. I did not pack. I had to fly in. So I did not, I had bear spray, but I did not have a gun on me. I did on a trip I was able to drive into. So I will say it's different for me because when I do have someone come up, I am not as open and like, hey, when I go to like the bar at the end of the night, I'll say hello to everybody. I don't socialize. I kind of take it as this could be a safety issue very quickly. I don't go more than a half mile out though, so I'm not too terribly concerned. And I don't pack out a full 20, 30, 40, 50 pound pack. I have decided that I have water, the certain safety things, a compass, that sort of thing. But my pack's only about 20 pounds. And I have decided everything's out. The treasure chest is in. And I actually, when I go hiking, I have not gone running, but when I go hiking, I put a 40-pound pack in my bag. And I want to be able to, I've gotten up to now 3 miles without a problem. And I think if I can make it 3 miles without adrenaline, I can make it a half mile back with the whole thing in. So I will not take 2 trips if I'm by myself. I'm taking Cynthia. Are you planning to take 1 trip, or are you going to do 2 trips if you find like? Are you going to take the contents first and then come back for the chat, or are you taking that whole bad boy with you?
Oh, I'm going to take it all in 1 trip. I would put the contents in my backpack, and I have a big garbage bag that I would put the chest in, and I would carry that in my arms. And I've already practiced this a mile loop, not with the real thing, obviously, but with rocks that weigh those amounts. And I know I can do it.
Well, and somebody asked in the room, you bring a clock? No, she brings a Glock. You can look that up if you don't know what that means.
Sorry.
No.
A clock.
A clock. Shannon, you're probably going to do a video, but do you want to give us any teasers on the one good clue that searchers could be thinking about themselves that they haven't?
I feel like I've already done a video on this, and that is, what is it? I mean, it in the poem. I really think that people need to really focus on what is it? What are we taking in the canyon down? Like, what is it? Like, that's personally, I think, like one of the biggest things. Because people have already asked what kind of vehicles he drove, what kind of shoes did he wear, things along that nature. I think the real big is what is it?
Okay, it's the it. Now, do anybody else have some profound thoughts on that one? Because I know that I know Shelley AGK puts out one, but Cynthia, I don't think you put out a roundtable. Have you seen that the roundtable discussions about that quote? It's kind of the one important thing. Do you have thoughts about what that important one thing is?
No, I'm sorry. I don't even know what the roundtable is. So I've been out. I've been gone so much. I'm so far behind. Sorry.
Okay, no, and so for those of you that are new in the room, let me explain. Sean Dotson from the Flip Side, they're on their 3rd or 4th one, started a discussion to say we're going to put one topic out on Sunday, and then that topic, tubers can come out and in less than, 5 minutes, put out their answers to what they call the roundtable. So there's a roundtable topic that's put out, and it's kind of cool because tubers have come out that have never come out before. So there's about 20 tubers that answer, and then he puts on his YouTube all of the links to all the people that are responding. So this week's was the quote that Jason Dent got, because they did kind of a joint thing that said, what is the one good clue that searchers could think about themselves but have it? And that's an exact quote from Forrest that Jason put out about a month ago. And I think this one's going to have the most varied response, because I will say, I think it's something about the first stanza. I think it's Jason that actually said it, so he stole my idea, I'm sure. But I think it's something, because WWWH is in the 2nd stanza. I think there's something in the first, because we all jump to the 2nd. We start with locations. There's something there that we have not considered that we need to. But Lady V, Shelley, what do you think? Well, and now Cynthia, that you know what it is, what do you think?
I like that idea, that it's something in the first stanza, for sure. Sounds good.
What is it, Cynthia? Give us your secret.
I will never tell.
Oh, I don't know. Margaritas. Okay.
I think it's simpler than that. I think it's the whole don't go where an 80-year-old man couldn't go carrying a 40-pound treasure, because people are still doing that. They're still climbing mountains. They're still trying to go across rivers that are impossible for an 80-year-old man to cross. So I think it's still that.
Okay. Lady V, Veronica?
I don't think you can find where warm waters halt if you haven't decoded the first stanza. And I haven't decoded the first stanza, and I don't know where warm waters halt, and I'm out there having a vacation. I mean, I I really don't believe that you can figure out the poem unless you understand the first stanza completely. I think there's a lot in there, and there's certainly a lot of different ways people have gone about trying to figure out what's in there, but the first line and the first stanza.
Okay. Okay. So I know, Shannon, you're going to have to drop off in the next couple minutes. Is there any strategies that you think are different? So I'm taking it that your fiance is not one of those hardcore. Like, I will tell you, I just had drinks with Bill Kaiser. I don't know if he's in the room, but Bill Kaiser and his wife, and they were lovely. But you could tell Bill was the searcher, and by I think hour 2 or 3, Holly, who is wonderful, was like eye rolling, going, "You guys are 7%." Or she knew what it was. She was into it, but she wasn't into it quite in the same way. So Shannon, I think it's
Yeah.
probably the same. So how does discussions and things go with your search partner?
Yeah, I'm going to drop off right after this. But I mean, my search partner, like, it's the moment we came back from the search and did not have the treasure chest, he did not want to hear the word fen. He didn't want to hear anything about this treasure hunt ever again. So I asked how he felt if I put my search on YouTube, and then my YouTube channel has just been absolutely amazing. The support's been great, and I continue with this addiction because I can't stop thinking about it. Like, I love this puzzle, and I really want to solve it, and I'm really enjoying the community. And he is anti all of it. So I can't even call him a search partner anymore. So yeah, like, I can't, like, I have to sneak on here tonight because, you know, like, while I'm waiting for my daughter to get out of driver's ed, because, you know, he does not approve of this. So that's tough. So my search strategy now is definitely trying to just figure out what I missed while I was out there. What did I miss? I still have a lot of confidence in a lot of things, but what did I miss? Where did I go wrong? Where did I take the wrong turn at? You know, so, and then there's people in the community that I do bounce ideas off of and I do talk to, but I guess the people that I'm closest with are the people that they tend to be like married men who I feel are very safe and secure in their relationships, and they don't cross any boundaries, because that's something that I think I need to respect my own, you know, relationship partner. So I don't want to cross any boundaries and have him worry that I'm flirting with guys in the chase, because that's not my intentions. Like, I talk to people solely about the chase and the search and all that stuff, so there's never any question or doubt. Like, we don't really talk about personal things. It's just search related, and if they start trying to get personal, then I tend to not answer them back. So it's been, but honestly, majority of the searchers have been very respectful. Nobody really cares about anything else except for finding this treasure. So that's been very, very nice. You know, can't say I get dirty emails or anything, thank goodness. And I know I'm just jinxed myself by saying that. But I mean, but everybody's very respectful and everybody's very focused on their solves and the search. And it's quite an awesome dynamic for a community to be like that. So
yeah, that is great. I mean, I remember beginning of the summer is when I scrapped my solve, and I said, "Hey, anybody on Thor that wants to send me their solve, I'm up for listening to it because I'm so excited. I don't want to lose the whole season." Never do that. I got 100 solves. There were 3 of them that were what I considered. Well, I won't say never do that. I will just say be ready to read 97 solves and 20 follow-up emails of how great people think their solves are. And there was 3 that I was like, wow, these are solid. And one of them, and follow me down, he became my search partner because of it. So I know Mike laughed last week. I randomly found my search partner on a forum that I didn't know. Now, I've never gone boots on the ground. I mean, I don't know him, but it's a whole different dynamic. But it is interesting to pick up someone else's solve, because this is where I say it becomes a solve of the brain rather than the solve of the heart. I love, like, Madison. That was where my first one was. That's my love solve. But I now am able to pick it apart and see it in a whole different way than I did before. So, so that's interesting, because Shannon, some of the guys talk about their wives not being totally into it as much. I know that's come up on the flip side a few times. And so that's an interesting dynamic. Lady V, where are you? And so, Shannon, if you have to drop off, thank you so much for being here.
I do. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye.
Love you. So Lady V, where are you?
Mhm.
So your search partner is your husband?
Husband Steven, yeah. He's
Okay.
not into this at all. I mean, he's
Okay.
really, he does this because he loves me. He's a good husband. He's a good guy, but he's a kung fu psychologist, rocket scientist, Jim Carrey type person all rolled up into one. And he loves like the adventure of it and being outside and hiking for sure. But the puzzle of it, he's in his head so much of the time anyway, it's not his thing at all. So really, he's doing it under suffrage for me, really. So at some point, I probably am going to have to get a search partner if I want to keep going out, because I would rather be going out with someone. I'm different from Cynthia in that way. I'd rather be going out with someone else than going out by myself. And I can't keep dragging him all over the place, you know.
Yeah, well, and I think I'm the only one on the panel with little kids. This will be my first year. Next year, I'm taking my 9 and 11-year-old. I've not felt
Oh,
comfortable
wow.
when they were 6 and 9, especially with geysers in Yellowstone and some of the stuff that grown men do, let alone my 6-year-old. So next year is going to be the first year I'm taking my kids' boots on the ground. So I'm super excited about that. But Shelly, I didn't let you get in. So you have Toby as your search partner, but then Bill, I think Bill is your husband's name.
Kevin.
David, Kevin. Yeah, okay. So
Kevin.
you guys go out, the three of you, Kevin, yourself, and Toby. And so talk a little bit about that dynamic. Do you guys always strategize? Well, you said Kevin and Toby strategize a little bit, but you guys all boots on the ground together.
Yes. Well, and Kevin and Toby are very much alike in that they were both Eagle Scouts. They both done a lot of hiking. They're both very comfortable going outdoors, and they know their way around. They're very safe people. So they have a lot in common. This last trip, Toby introduced Kevin to fly fishing. Kevin had watched some YouTube videos, so he's excited to do that. Unfortunately, the water was so low that it wasn't really great fishing, but it was good practice. But they had a good time with that, and yeah, they get along really, really well. The three of us are awesome together. You know, we all cook together and hike together. We have a great time making fun of each other. And, I have to tell you, when Chris D'Angelo went with us in July up to our search area, it's about a 3.5 hour drive. And Toby told stories the whole way up and the whole way back. We didn't even listen to the radio or anything. But on a recent trip, we introduced Toby to podcasts. We introduced him to Pod Save America, which he loved, and he's now listening to all kinds of podcasts. So we really bounce a lot of ideas off of each other. Kevin's always coming up with something that Toby hasn't thought of, and they talk it over, work it out, and I will try to figure things out that they can't answer, like what is the home of Brown? Well, let me get my tarot cards out and I'll see if we can figure out an answer to that. And so the three of us have our strengths and we work really well together. So we have a lot of fun.
Excellent. Well, and you guys do something that I would recommend. My first boots on the ground, it was boots on the ground. And Cynthia, I have that question for you. You guys, so Shelly and the AGK team, you guys do not as much boots on the ground recon, and you do a lot vacationing. So I think it's a little bit more vacationing and some solid boots on the ground, but that's not your pure focus. But Cynthia, are you 100% boots on the ground when you do go up now, you go up north, or do you take some tourist time as well?
No, I pretty much I did the boots on the ground. I was in Cody, I think about 5 days, and I did not once step inside the Buffalo Bill Cody Museum. So, which is actually a bad thing for me too. But when the weather's good, boy, I just have a hard time being inside. And there was just so much terrain to cover and to see. And I had multiple spots where I wanted to go. And I actually accomplished each of those before I came home. So yeah, for me, definitely boots on the ground. And I mean, it's a vacation too, but boots on the ground.
Okay. Okay, well, I have been terrible about ignoring the chat room tonight. So I will say we're right around 100. Oh, Mike, don't be upset.
Okay, here's the problem. Somebody just texted me and said, "Is it okay for guys to be in the chat?" They were under the impression ladies only meant ladies only, and I was like, "Oh, don't tell me guys aren't watching because they thought it was ladies only."
No, well, and the 150 goes for the first time the chat gets to 150 and someone comments, we're having that. Our
Right.
side bet tonight, that means you are going to probably lose. And don't be upset about it. It's okay. It's
Anyways,
okay,
we have some questions from the chat for everybody on the panel. Cindy Guess would like to know if anybody on the panel has heard of the older version of the poem that had the word stones in it. She's trying to find out where that originated from.
I think it's from an article, and it's a way back article. Look Beyond the Stones. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Stones and Bones, I think. And I
Yeah.
think I've heard that too.
And
It
Leave
was
My
in an article.
Bones. Yeah, look down beyond the stones and leave my bones.
And I've just spent some time with Chip at Bullwinkle's, and he told me he saw a previous version, and Cindy Guess and I've gone back and forth in email. I will say the only part that he talked about was the throw my body on. It wasn't stones
Bones,
that
right?
came up.
It was take the.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Cynthia.
I think it was. I thought it was something like take the chest and leave my bones. I don't think Fenn ever used the stones. Isn't that hearsay that no one can really confirm? That
Yeah, it was just in an
I think it's all
article.
third hand. The other one that heard it, I thought Sasha didn't Sasha say that she had heard the same thing?
Yeah, but I don't think she got it from Fenn.
Yeah, I think it's all third hand. The only one I've heard, but I haven't heard it from Fenn either. I just heard it from Chip that he said that he saw it was the body, kind of throwing the body part. So that's the only piece that I would say I feel a little bit more confident about, but I don't know.
Maybe Forrest could clarify for us. Maybe if only there was a website where he could clarify things.
I wish last week somebody had some idea that they were going to clarify it. Did that ever get up there from?
It did not.
Oh, okay. Well, once they start using that thread, maybe Forrest will respond.
All right, next question. Minotaur Moreno said, why did F switch the number 2 on the latest scrapbook on Dale's blog? I'm not sure what that refers to. Why did F switch the number 2 on the last scrapbook? Anybody know what that means?
Is that a number on the airplane tail? The tail of the airplane? Is that what that refers to?
Oh, maybe. I didn't catch it. Actually, I have it up right now. Let's see.
I think what people need to understand, and it is on Dale's blog now, is that Dale is the one that added both the pictures to scrapbook 191. The story is Fenn's, but Dale added the pictures of both George and the upside down airplane on the runway. So on Dale's blog, the people are going crazy because apparently Dale switched, he did something, he photoshopped or did something to the plane that crash landed. It's not even, I guess this picture is actually at the Double Eagle Airport in outside of Albuquerque, not actually Albuquerque's the main airport. So people were going wild about, God,
everything.
The conspiracy people are just so crazy. But regardless, Dale finally, he did admit that he put the pictures on there. And I don't know that he replied yet to about that number. Before the show, I was reading it, and Dale posted, yes, he's the one that put the pictures on, but people were still asking him, well, why did you change something? So that's why I'm thinking it might be the number that you're talking about.
Well, and AG Toby's in the chat room, and he's saying you can see it on our channel. So I have a feeling somebody has done some analysis on this. Shelley, yes?
I don't know yet. Guess I'll find out tomorrow.
Okay, excellent. And I will say for all of those of you that want to rename Mike for tonight, we'll do that in the abduction portion. It looks like he has a new name in the chat room. What's the good word tonight? I do not have words from Forrest. Several of you have asked me for, he is watching. So hi, Forrest. We did give him the link, but there weren't any words really to talk about tonight. because we didn't have a quote to. I really do want to dive into that one good clue that searchers could think of themselves. I do think that if we could get some words from Forrest that kind of help that a little bit, that would be fantastic. But Mike, back to you. What do we have more questions, or is that all the questions?
Yes, 2 more questions.
Okay.
This was talked about, so just go through and give a yes or no. Frizzle Fry wants to know: has anyone come across a grizzly bear while out on a search?
Yes,
Oh,
every
thank God.
time.
Cynthia, yes or no? You said yes, right?
Not while I was actually hiking. It was the next day when I was driving past the trail area.
That totally
Well, that counts. Yeah, you're out in the field. So,
I've seen them numerous times in the Yellowstone Park area too.
and Shelley, that was a no or a yes?
No.
Oh, so 2 no's, 2 yeses. All right, interesting. And I have not, just in case anybody was wondering. Fox Gaming has a very good question.
Forrest Finn's vault didn't have a grizzly bear.
It did not. It did not. I didn't even see the hide that was in the raffle. Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, actually, I did. Okay. Fox Gaming has a very good question. Does the female touch or way of thinking help or hinder with a poem that was written by a 79 or 80-year-old man? What do you guys think?
I think it helps. I think it helps a lot. I think it helps a lot because, there aren't a lot of sex differences actually between men and women, but one real one is that men can't think and feel strongly at the same moment and women can. And so I think that the poem that Forrest wrote is an extremely emotional poem. There's a lot of feeling in it. There's a lot of metaphor in it. And so in order to be able to process both those things at once, it helps to be able to feel and think at the same time.
Anybody
Cynthia?
else?
That's where I've been messing up then, because I guess I relate more to the guy thing, and I never thought of that before.
Maybe you need to partner up with some lady.
Ladies.
Shelley, over to you. I have my opinion, but I want to go last. So go ahead, Shelley.
Well, I think that it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. Everybody has a different idea. And I think it's when we all come together and express those ideas, that's when we get closer to the truth.
Yeah. Well, and that was going to be my answer, though. I am the super creative, outside the box, kitchen sink person that looks at every scrapbook, everything. Like if Forrest sneezed, I would be like, there's a hint in there. That's my latest search partner. Literalist, only looks at the poem, will not even look at the book. I send it to him and he sends it back. It's like, stop doing that. That will manipulate my brain. Don't do it. And I don't understand those people. But the great part is if you have a good trusting relationship, which is built over a little bit of time, and you could start to banter back and forth. I can't tell you how many times when we're debating a hint, he will say, or a clue or whatever it is, or a part of our solve, he'll say, where is it in the 166? Where do you get that in the poem? Specialized knowledge, stop that. And I'll say, no, I know you're right, but I'm down this bunny hole. I have taken 12 hours to research it. And he's like, 12 hours to research it. Exactly. Stop it. And so I think that males think more like that. I personally do. I have not done any research on it. And so the males, and there's a couple of people that I do a lot of PMing with almost daily where I'll throw stuff back and forth. They're the ones that just simplify. I think maybe women are a little bit more creative, and I mean, they're more nurturing in nature. So we have to get creative when we're raising kids and doing things where we're trying to get them not to throw a fit or eat their food or whatever it is. I just think women, stereotypically, there's always the outside person that's a little bit different. But that's where I come from, where I was going by myself, but then once I search partnered up with somebody that just thinks of the world so differently, that's what was so cool. And I know I drive him crazy. I know I drive Mike crazy. So it's a great thing. So yeah, don't shake your head. I'm still a woman. You get in trouble for that. So that's kind of my answer to that. So.
All right, we had one more question. This comes from Mark Connor. When FF said, what?
Mark Connor, the one that has the treasure chest in his hand. But go ahead.
Knows the location, according to him. When FF said that the person that was closest was an older searcher, did he mean a person that's been searching for a while or an older person as age? I didn't know Forrest said somebody was close. It was an older searcher.
Shame on you. Go to Thor. Have you ever heard of Thor before?
I've heard of it.
If you go up on Thor, there's a Fen Clarifies, and there was a reporter that said a recent searcher has has solved however or has been within 200 feet. And the question I asked him is, can you clarify if this was a recent searcher? And he said, no, it was not a recent searcher. So I don't think it's age. I think it was he made the quote originally in 2013. I think he's still talking about the 2013. That means none of us got anything going on right now is how I take it, but I know people differ with that. Yeah, reporter, fake news. Every time I clarify with him, the reporter is always wrong. It's kind of like when someone says they found it, no offense, Mark Connor. I don't even email him anymore because I know the answer is no, and reporter misquotes every single time. Those are the two absolutes that I know. But do you guys agree on the panel? Was it recent or was it old?
No, I agree.
Recent.
I believe what started the question was David Kushner's saying about it being a recent searcher in that Wired article, right? And then you clarified it that Fenn said, no, it was not recent, meaning it was that. I agree with what you said.
Were you in the search? What did you get in the search, Cynthia?
After the person was 200 feet from it.
So it can't be you. Maybe
not me.
Wait, maybe it's Diggin' Gypsy though. She's been around. I think she's been around since the beginning. So it's one of those lady searchers, right?
Not me, probably.
Okay, Mike. Any other questions from the chat room?
There's one more for Shelley. This is from Fox Gaming. Which court card represents Mr. Fenn? King of Wands or the Magician? Is that tarot cards? What are we talking about?
I've watched her do this. It's fascinating, but go ahead, Shelley.
He's the Hierophant.
The which one?
Hierophant.
What is that?
It's sort of like the Pope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say this is, I think, one of the first panels that has Shelley, but not Toby. So is there any, I won't say deep, dark secret, because I know you won't give away deep, dark secrets, but any search strategy, something that we may not know about Toby, that we know a lot about Toby from the softer side, but what do we need to know that these viewers, the search viewers, need to know that you can shed light on? And Jimmy, if you need to bounce Toby, if he gets a little inappropriate, let us know. But Shelley, over to you.
So when Toby and I first started talking about the search and where to start looking, and he was all about the fishing regulations, and he was explaining it all to me, and I said, wouldn't the state line be where warm waters halt then? And he's like, well, sure, but you can't get to any of these canyon downs from the state line because it goes into private property. And so he had just kind of dismissed it, and we went looking elsewhere. So when we finally got back to it, I was like, see, I knew it.
I told you so.
We should have gone there a long time ago.
Shelley, I have a question for Shelley. Mm-hmm. Shelley, did you ever consider dumping Toby's ass and coming and searching with him?
You know what? Toby said it was fine if I go search with you, Cynthia. I certainly couldn't do any worse.
Wow.
I want to know which tarot card Toby is.
He is the King of Pentacles.
All right, as long as he's not the jester.
About that. Okay, so then to Cynthia, since we do need to make this a little bit of, we'll go with the Toby theme. He said that you all have an affair going on, and I got several PMs about that. Would you like to clarify?
I have to talk to Toby about this, I think.
Oh, that's all you're going to say about that, huh?
That's all I'm going to say.
If you ask Shelley, does that mean you've asked me to? Are you just asking everybody? Is this just I thought you said you didn't want search partner. You're talking to Shelley. You're talking to me. I mean, is this just everybody?
He's lonely.
I'm lonely. I am. I can't go to Montana or Wyoming anymore this year, so I might have to go look in New Mexico.
Yeah, I'd like that. That'd be fun.
It's only a few weeks. I need to go boots on the ground. I have to go boots on the ground when I'm there. So let's find a spot.
I have a place to take.
The three of us can go, right?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Ladies, boots on the ground. Ladies, boots on the ground.
I'll film it for the vlog. I volunteer.
Oh, what a guy. Well, there'll be, I'll say that there's an announcement maybe next week, and we can actually partner that with some of our discussions that we're having right now. But that's a big surprise that I'll talk about in a minute. So, what else in the chat room? We're in our last 10 minutes, and we still have to do thank you notes, and we're going to do shout out to women. I'm doing a shout out to women on thank you notes. Mike, is there? Well, I'll call you Mike right now. I'll call you something different in a minute. But is there anything else from the chat room?
No, I think that's it from the chat room. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I think 101 was our max number, so I guess you did win the bet. So we got 10 minutes left. Something tells me he's not going to shoot up now. So we're even now. I won one, you won one. They cancel each other out.
That
we're
wasn't
even.
the deal. That was not the deal. That was not the deal. I'm sorry. Okay, so a couple of things. So that means the coin did not get into tonight, but if by next week, I know we're going to be weeks out because the Gypsy's Kiss only gets up to, they're the largest out there, and they only get up to 130, 140. So I knew I was taking you down. That's why I put the bet so big between us, Mike. So I will say there is going to be a second coin giveaway because these are, they're burning a hole in my pocket. And so I will say two things. One, at Gypsy's Kiss last week, Toby offered $100. I will, for one of these, I know he's going to get it out to the community, or they are going to get it out to the community. So I'm giving one to Toby, and that is for very specific reasons. He has helped me so much in setting this up, and just as a searcher in general, as a friend. One of these are going to you, and I know you'll get them out in some fun way. But the second one is going to go out to best boots on the ground video. It could be funny, it can be clever, it can be remarkable, like last week's with the fighting of the, what's that, bison, buffalo bison, whatever. I always know I say the wrong one. So if you have a video that you want to send me, you can email me at kpro3@aol.com, 30 seconds or less. We will take them until this next show, and then Mike and I will judge, and then you will get one of these coins the next show, because we have the off season and we need to start having fun in the off season.
And we will show the winner on the show, so keep it clean, people.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't think otherwise. And then next week it's not the treasure chest being found. There will be a special announcement. We have talked and teased about some of these projects. One has finally arrived, but it arrived just today. So Mike and I haven't had a chance to talk about it, so we couldn't get it on the show tonight. But if you are a fan, I won't tease too much. If you're a fan of these coins, if you're a fan of boots on the ground, if you're a fan of the search community, you want to tune in next week, because we are going to be rolling out a new project that will be, I think, anybody that loves the search community will absolutely adore. So this is the beginning of that. So,
and
Mike,
the other thing is that what you're just going to bring me in
yeah,
for?
the
Okay,
TToTC.
sorry. Somebody just said it in the chat. Hey, so Nevin was nice enough to donate basically a Thrill the Chase book, and I was going to give it away to somebody that donated to Jamie's raffle and somebody who does not own a Thrill the Chase book. And I got those entries, and the winner of the book is Brian Simmons. So Brian, email me your address, and I will get that out in the mail to you this week.
And I will say we also announced the Thor contest winner, which was Benjamin. I still haven't heard from you. Please PM me, because there's a coin coming your way. So coins are just flying everywhere, and books. And I mean, this is the time of year we need to not get down. We need to be solid and happy. Oh, hey, Mike, do you want to cue up the thank you music?
All right, here we go. And it's only you doing the thank you notes this time.
Yeah, because only
it's
the ladies. And mine are a tribute to the ladies. I'm going to talk about a couple of them. Okay. Thank you, Susie, R.F. Hecky, and Shelley Carney, for having the most distinctive voices in the chase for very different reasons. Okay, second and last one. Thank you, Nelica, for showing me you can be the tiniest blonde but the biggest bouncer at a bar. You had to be there to know that one. There are my thank you notes for tonight. Okay, so around the room, tell us where we could find you, and any last minute words as we then jump over to the abduction. Shelley, over to you first.
Okay. Well, of course, you know that I'm on a Gypsy's Kiss. That's a gypsieskiss.tv or a gypsieskiss.live if you're joining us live. And you can also find me on the softer side.me. Tomorrow, I'm going to start live stream on Tuesdays immediately after the vlog. So starting at 2:30, I'll have another the softer side. So I'll have it 2 times a week, once on Tuesday afternoons, once on Thursday evenings. So one of those should hit your time schedule. And I know a lot of our UK viewers are there on Tuesdays, so hopefully a lot of them will swing on by.
Now, and Shelley, is Tuesday more about the women? And then
The
together?
first episode is called What Women Want. And what
Okay.
I'm going to be doing is replaying some of my short little videos that I put out called What Women Want, and it's basically talking about a specific thing that I find in men that I really like. So it's just a little fun thing that I'll include in the video, in the whole video, because it's only 60 seconds or less. So it's fun just to rehash those. And I made 42 of them, so I might as well get some use out of them.
Nice. Okay. Veronica, Lady V.
I'm on Thor, Lady V. That's where you can find me.
Yep. Yes, you are. And then Cynthia.
Website, chasingfenstreasure.com.
Nice. And then Mike, even though it's ladies' night still.
Cow Lasers on YouTube. Just a reminder, I'm not going to go on this Thursday, but I am going to go on Thor, and I'm going to post in that clarifies thread. And maybe Forrest will give us some answers.
Oh, maybe, but he won't unless people put them on the. Okay, so I am, of course, here in the Raven's Nest, and then I am the administrator on Hen of Riches, forum.henofriches.com, something like that. It'll be, and maybe you'll see an intro next week because thank you. I was given the Jeremy and consulting services, and between him and Mike, I think there's some fun stuff that will come out. So from the Raven's Nest, and I will say, where next X never ever marks the spot, we say goodnight for tonight and the first ladies panel. Good night,
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.